My bad, my bad. I said, it's been a day on here. When there's 200 people here and we haven't even started to show off. I got the homie Colb here to talk about what is going on with the Cleveland Browns, Myles Garrett, and this potential trade request. I don't know where we want to start with this because this has layers, and I hope people understand it ain't even really started yet. Like, I can see this thing going for a very long time. Like, I don't know. Like, this don't feel like something they're going to just handle when the start of the new league year happens. Because the way I see it, and I have had a lot of thoughts since waking up to this news. Thank you, Browns, for ruining my morning, by the way. I thought it was going to be a good week, Cole. I'm like, you know what? Senior Bo Bahavi, I'm finally back home. I'm in my place. I'm in my studio again. Thought I was going to have a good week. Browns hit me with this. This one, the Browns have almost no reason to do this, right? To trade him, other than he don't want to be here no more. And I do wonder in today's NFL, how much power does that have when that dude who don't want to be here, like this ain't like I've talked about David Njoku did this, he stayed, or Trey Hendrickson last year did this, he stayed, but it's a little bit different when it's the best player on the team, the franchise player on the team, basically saying, hey man, I don't think I can win a championship here.
I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Q. And you know me, I was feeling real good for like the last 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? I was feeling real good. I was feeling pretty untouchable. You know what I mean? Luka Doncic gets traded to the Lakers. I'm like, oh yeah, there's absolutely nothing that can bring me down. And then
don't test the universe like that.
It's like, you know what the worst part is? I was talking so much shit too because I was like, man, imagine losing the face of your franchise.
Oh,
that must really suck.
Yeah.
And then we get the Myles Garrett trade request. Bro, I've been thinking about it since it happened. And I think the universal reaction to this point has been like, everybody's kind of siding with Myles on this. And I find that to be kind of like...
I don't find that a shock.
No, it's not a shock. I think that's an indictment on the franchise.
Well, I think that has everything to do with the fact that you're the team that traded for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, like everybody's just like, no, we get it. We get it.
The Browns haven't had the benefit of the doubt of the public since they traded for Deshaun Watson and gave him a fully guaranteed contract. So, like, that's just part of that to me. Right, that people are going to take Myles' side because the picture outside of Cleveland, the Cleveland Browns, is way darker than like even the picture that we have here locally. So I get why people would take Myles' side, and in general, people tend to side with the player as long as the team is not known for being good. Right, like if the team is anywhere below Baltimore in the championship contender stand, people will usually be like, yeah, he should leave. Screw that organization. Now somebody start trying to leave like a good team, then they get roasted. But yeah, that's, I think, part of the calculus that Myles Garrett has right now, which is he knows he's going to have the public opinion on his side. This is going to be a battle though. Like it's going to get nasty. Like that's the reality of this. Because the Browns are not going to just trade him. And Myles seems to be adamant, right? Or at least as adamant as you can be. This is more than just, I went to my agent and said I requested a trade. My man drafted a letter. We said this was done when Baker Mayfield did it, right? Now, Myles Garrett, an order of magnitude better of a player than Baker Mayfield. So you're willing to overlook this if things can be mended in a way that you weren't willing to do with Baker Mayfield. But this is not good, right? Like there's no this isn't a big deal about this whole thing, right? Like he had the little, like, it was almost like reading the diss track response, the way he flipped that Cleveland to Canton line on Andrew Berry. It's not very, it doesn't look great, like, if you're the Browns. And at this point, I don't know what you do. And like I'm not in their head. I don't know how far they think they are on this, right? This might be, to them, they're like, oh, he wants max money. I don't know why this would be a debate if he wanted max money. So like I find it hard to believe it's about the contract or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
I think this is just, he does want to win a championship. He realizes he's 29. He's about to be 30 soon. I don't think Myles wants to play until he's 40. And he's feeling like he's losing. And it's not just about winning a championship too, Cole. He wants to be one of the best players on a championship team.
Yes.
Right? There's a difference between winning a championship and being a huge part of why a team won a championship. When he says he needs this for his legacy, that's what he's saying. I want to be one of the best players on a championship team. You don't want to be 40-year-old Myles Garrett rolling around when when the Chiefs get like ring number 85 or whatever they're going to be on. He wants to win a ring when he knows he could be one of the best players in the league. And that proposes a problem for him and the Browns, because who you going to trade with that's a top tier team in the AFC that got anything you want that's going to return for Myles Garrett? And the Browns are in a position where they don't really got to do nothing because they have 4 years of control on him.
Basically, so he's 2 years left on his deal, and they can franchise him twice. So they don't like the Browns have all the leverage here. Like I hate to be the guy who says it, but like they have every single bit of leverage in this situation. They don't have to do anything. What's he going to do? Sit out 2 years? What is he going to do?
He wants to win a Super Bowl, so like you're not going to win a Super Bowl and chilling, right? Not doing nothing. And look, he saw what sitting out 2 years could do to a player. Okay. hey, nobody in Berea about to be like, yeah, just sit out the 2, Myles. That's gonna go well. Nah, man, Deshaun used to be that guy. Deshaun used to be that guy, and now he's not. And part of the reason is he sat out a couple of years. So
it's just I don't know what he's. I mean, I know what he wants, but it's just like I don't know how we get you there, brother. Like I really don't know the best path forward in a trade for you. I really don't.
I put on Blue Sky. I was like, the only trade that I could be like, you know what? It's awkward. I can live with it. I gotta get 3 first-round picks. I gotta get either a late second or early third, and I need a 5th-round pick swap. Oh, not 5th round, a day 3 pick swap. And I need a player under 30 who's been to multiple Pro Bowls. Not like the technical Pro Bowl shit. Like I'm not trying to get Tyler Huntley. Like I need an actual high caliber player. Not asking for a Myles back, but something similar along that regard. And I think I can live with it. I think we're gonna get crazy proposals, Cole. You might hear that somebody might be willing to move up. Well, not move up, but willing to grab Myles at expense of like the 49ers is the one I heard, where they're not really sold on extending Brock Purdy. So maybe they would want to send us Brock in some kind of elaborate package to get Myles Garrett, and that the Browns might do it because it does give them an answer at quarterback, at least for the time being. I'm really hesitant on doing any kind of crazy move for a quarterback though right now, because brother, we about to lose Myles because of a crazy move that we made at quarterback.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about, because this is something that we have to acknowledge just right off the bat. We have to acknowledge we got here because of the Deshaun Watson trade. That is the, like, if you're plotting like how did we get here? Like how did we get to the point where the best player to play for the Cleveland Browns since the team came back asking for a trade? It's that trade.
I would say I don't think it's exclusively, because I think if it was just Deshaun playing bad, then I don't think Myles requests a trade. This is where I have to go back and say I might have been wrong on something. I think it has something to do with turning the keys over to Deshaun this offseason. Like last offseason, right? When the Browns made the decision, hey, we're going to see what we got in Deshaun. And they basically hit the brakes on all the progress they made in 2023 to make Deshaun comfortable. And then it turned out that bad. I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back, right? If it had just been Deshaun went out there, stunk, and then we had brought Joe Flacco off the bench or, Jacoby Brissett off the bench and went 7-10, I think we'd be fine right now because everybody would say, well, the dude stinks. We gave it 3 years. The dude stinks. And then maybe some Deshaun Watson stands would be sitting here talking about, well, you didn't give him an offense. And we would live in a world where that would be an excuse still for Deshaun. And we'd be like, okay, well, somebody could sign him off waivers in 2 years and then see if he can work in a different offense. But I think he would have been fine. I think once you went as far as to because that seems to be the thing that rubbed everybody the wrong way.
Yeah.
From in red is that they fired Alex Van Pelt, got rid of Stump, and internally, that seemed to be a very divisive, yeah, move within the people in that locker room. And I think Myles was that was one of the main, let's be real here. He's only not about to be a unanimous 2-time defensive player of the year. And he still might get that award, by the way, but he's only not going to be a unanimous 2-time defensive player of the year simply because the Browns won 3 games. That's the only knock that people have against Myles Garrett. The Browns just didn't win enough. That's the only argument. If they had just won 8 games, he'd be fine. But they didn't even win enough for him to get that. So that makes him have to make a decision okay, well, I can't even get the individual stuff here. If this is how they're going to rock, they made their big swing at quarterback. It did not work out. And look, Myles is realistic the same way I'm realistic about it. There's no fix for the quarterback this year. So he knows you got to at least wait till 2026. And if you're about to get a quarterback in 2026, you got to say the quiet part out loud. You might not win many games in 2025.
You're telling me you don't want to bet it all on Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward or
hell no. I'm pretty adamant about this, right?
What about Jalen Milroe? Q, you want to bet? Bet it on him?
Dog. I'm day 3 on pretty much every quarterback. You can convince me Will Howard if you trade back from 60 something. That's the one dude I'm like, man, you want to throw a flyer at Will Howard because Will Howard at least gonna be a backup. I feel pretty confident about that. He's gonna be a good backup quarterback. I don't know if he's gonna be a great starter, but he might be able to get you across a rough year, whatever it is. That's worth a third. But yeah, I don't see Cam Ward as somebody that I have the faith of being everybody want Jaden Daniels, and you think you could just because you draft the quarterback at 2 is Jaden Daniels. That ain't how you got Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels was Jaden Daniels, right? And we're not even coming close to a prospect like that. Honestly, you could get a prospect as good as Shedeur, as good as Cam, late in the first round next year in next year's class, as deep as that class looks like it's going to be at quarterback or 2027. So it makes no sense. It never made any sense to draft the quarterback at 2. Now, I don't know how Myles felt about quarterback. I know him and Shedeur both from Texas, so maybe he's a big Shedeur fan, and he got the word that the Browns ain't trying to do it and Shedeur ain't trying to do it. So that's what spurred this whole thing. I don't know, right? But what we do know about this whole situation is Myles don't want to be here because he does not feel like he can win a championship. And that reasoning for it makes shit awkward, Cole. If this were just about money, it wouldn't be awkward. Because players understand that. Oh, you just want some bread. He'll be back when he get his money. Players will be in the locker room saying, yeah, we need to get Myles what he needs, right? But when you say, hey, man, I can't win here, you're also saying, whether it's directly or not, to the other 52 dudes in that locker room, I can't win with y'all. And that's where this gets awkward, right? You're saying, like, whether indirectly or not, you're saying that about Kevin. You're saying that about everybody in that building. I can't win with y'all. So how do you come back from that? It's the question. And again, if he were just a regular player, it wouldn't be a problem. This is one of the leaders of the team saying, I can't win with y'all. The scope of that cannot be misunderstood. It simply can't. It's a massive implication. And I haven't heard enough people talk about that because, like, I would love to live in a world, Colb, and you know me, I don't want to do this. I'm not feel bad for me, Browns fan. I don't like that shit. But I have to be real here. The implication here is awful for the organization. And for Myles, this is as close to a can't come back moment as you can get. But the problem is, ain't no way you going to trade this dude.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's the one player who can get away with that because he is the best defensive player in the NFL.
Well, he'll get away with it, but dog, that shit's going to never leave people's minds. Like,
and after a 3-14 season, like, I kind of can't even, like,
yeah, I mean,
be super upset about it.
This way. It's easy for us to feel this way. I get
what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not upset. Like, I saw this come down, and I said this in a video I released this like a couple hours ago on my channel. I felt the same way when I read that letter that I felt when I got the text that Deshaun got traded to Cleveland. And what I mean by that is, when Deshaun got traded here, I was not excited. I didn't want him to get traded here just because the legal stuff. I didn't anticipate he would be this bad. I thought he'd be fine as a player. I just felt like it wasn't going to be worth it. And personally, didn't want to be tied to Deshaun Watson, right? Like, in any manner. But okay, you make the move. And I remember thinking, well, this is not going to be fun. And from here on out, whatever happens with Myles, I'm telling y'all, this is not going to be fun.
No, not at all.
Like, all the fun got zapped. He's going to play next year on the Cleveland Browns. I feel pretty confident because, again, ain't nobody got enough to offer. Now, if 2026 comes around and somebody decides, hey, I have a top something pick and the Browns need a quarterback, okay, now there's ammunition for the Browns to make a move, right, in the 2026 offseason. But in this offseason, there's just no ammunition. There's no reason for the Browns to make this move. They know Myles is going to play on that contract. So it's going to be really awkward. I think this move gets done next offseason because I think the Browns record is going to be whatever it is. They could make the playoffs next year. They could not. They could win 7 games. They could win 3 games again. I don't know if Andrew Berry survives this, if he ends up having to trade with Myles. Like, I think in order for Andrew to survive this, you probably got to win 11, 12 games next year. And don't know about that. But I don't think the Browns are going to trade Myles until they think that trade can land them a chance to go get a quarterback. And they're not going to do that until they know what picks they're trading for. And they don't need to trade for a pick this year. So, because they got the number 2 pick. If they wanted a quarterback, they could take one. Well, if they wanted, if they thought that one of these quarterbacks were worth the number 2 overall pick, they would take one. But I think this happens 2026 or 2027 where the Browns see an opportunity to go get them a top overall pick. And Myles can get you that, right? Like, I think a lot of teams would trade that for Myles, especially a team that feels like they're there by accident, which happens every year, right? The 49ers have a top pick. The Jaguars feel like they're in that kind of class of team. There's going to be a team with the quarterback that feels like they're there by accident. So they're going to want to make that move for Myles.
I'm glad you brought up the Jaguars because I want to throw something out. Like I said, I've been thinking about this as it happened. Been reading different thoughts from different people who cover the Browns about what the Browns do. How do we get out of here? What's the best path forward? I'll preface what I'm about to say by saying this. I do not want to trade Myles Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It doesn't matter how many picks you get, even if they're premium picks. The chances of you drafting a player outside of getting a franchise quarterback that's as talented and impactful as Myles Garrett is slim to none. I'm just going to say that now.
Yeah.
But I do think if a certain package of picks was presented, you got to at least consider it. And I mean, like, seriously consider it. So let's take a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars, for example.
Okay.
If they want Myles, what pick do they have this year? They have the fifth
somewhere
pick?
in the 8th. Yeah.
It's like 5th pick, right? I think that's what they have.
I think they got like the 8th.
Nah, they're not that low.
It was like one of those years where there was a ton of tiebreakers.
Because I thought it was Tennessee, us.
Jacksonville has the 5th. Yeah, you were right.
Yeah, okay. So it's like the 5th pick. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So if let's say they offered 5th pick this year, another first next year. Say they offer a 2nd this year, and like Trayvon Walker or Josh Allen. Pick one. Pick whoever. Pick whoever. Would you consider it?
I would consider it, but honestly, I don't really care for having the 5th pick this year. Right? Like, and my reasoning behind that is if I trade Myles, I want to swing at a quarterback with that pick I get from Myles. That's the only way you're going to win that. And fair. I'm not swinging at 5 at a quarterback still. And likely both the guys that people are even thinking you want to be crazy for swinging at would be gone by 5. Mm-hmm. I would consider that trade if you shift it after the draft or after the trade or towards the trade deadline. If you know, hey, Jacksonville's going to suck this year, so their pick's probably going to be pretty good, or Jacksonville did suck, so their pick in 2026 is going to be top whatever, right? And you feel like there are 4 guys that you can take at that spot at the quarterback position to go ahead and solve that answer. That's why I'm like, I don't value as much, in my opinion. I don't know what the Browns are feeling, right? I think that's a fair trade. Well, not a fair. That is a reasonable offer for Myles.
There's no
fair trade. Yeah,
there's no winning the trade outside of you getting a future
Unless
first.
The Chiefs trade you Pat Mahomes, like you ain't going to win that trade.
You know what I'm saying? outside of getting a first round pick in either 26 or 27.
Yeah,
that you can use to actually get a franchise quarterback. There's no really like winning the trade. Yeah. I'm just trying to think of something that's kind of like a team could be like, you know what? We'll give you our first to 26. We'll give you our first this year. And I mean, Trayvon Walker or Josh Allen, like they're good pass rushers. They're not Myles, but they're good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, I would think like something like that is like something realistic, or the most realistic you could ask for in a situation. It's not gonna feel good though.
It would definitely be a consolation prize, right? Like it'd be like, all right, well, this is what you got here, right? For Myles Garrett. I think if you're gonna like, I don't want to Luka myself, right? I don't want to make a trade that baffles people. Okay. As far as like how the value is for the Cleveland Browns. I think, yeah, for me, it's so hard to find a scenario because, like, even then, if you trade with Jacksonville, you're hoping they stink. But what if they're like the 15th pick in 2026?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just like you never. And this is something I've talked about ad nauseum. Even if you get a future first, like even if the Browns trade down from the second pick and get a future first the next year, you don't really know
Where it's going to land.
where it's gonna land. Even if a team's bad this year, doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna be bad the following year.
And also, you got to consider you're trading them Myles Garrett.
Like, might be due for a couple extra wins just off the strength of having Myles.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that would be a lot better if they just had Myles Garrett, right? Like, yeah, I mean, I don't think some people because sometimes people in Cleveland have underestimated how good he is. This is the best defensive player of his era. Like, this is somebody who could put in the letter, I don't really care about making a Hall of Fame. I already made it. Like, he tried to win Super Bowls. He's already made the Hall. Myles Garrett can retire from football today, be in the Hall of Fame in 5 years.
Yeah.
He's already got that locked up, right? And he's in his prime. 4 straight 14 sack seasons, never been done before. So if you trade him to a team that has a pulse, you might end up with the 22nd pick of the first round next year for Myles Garrett. And you're like, oh, well, let's get a corner. Like, it's not going to be cool. It's not going to be dope. Like, I need to trade him for a pick that I know is going to net me what I want. And what I want is quarterback. And I can't do that this year. Right? You can't top 6, top 10 pick. Oh, yeah. What you gonna get? I could pair Mason Graham with Abdul Carter. That's cool. I'd rather just have Myles and Abdul Carter. Like a disgruntled Myles and Abdul Carter for a year will be fine with me. Right. So yeah, like I think that's the issue. You can't know what pick you're going to have in 2026 or 2027 until we get to those drafts. And I think it's far too important for the Browns, right? A team that needs to have a solution at quarterback to sit there and say to themselves, well, we're just going to cross our fingers and hope that this pick is good enough or that our pick is good enough to get us a quarterback. Because you know what could happen? You could get the 12th and 13th pick of the draft next year because you won 7 games and the Jaguars won 7 games too. And you're picking at 12 and 13 and all the quarterbacks went before 10. And you're shit out of luck. Right? Like, yeah, like they can't play those games. So yeah, for me, I think they're going to keep him at least for this year. And now instead of it becoming, hey, like you could play this game, which I don't endorse because I just played 3 years of this game, which is, oh my God, Myles wants to leave. Let's go and trade the farm for Kyler Murray. Right.
Please no. Please
or no. Let's go and see if what we could do to go get, I don't even know who else would be available, right? Like, oh, let's trade 2 first-round picks for Brock Purdy or something like that. Like to make Myles Garrett happy. I ain't really feeling that, right? Like either he could come to peace with what the Browns' plan is long-term for quarterback, or he really just want to get up out of here. But there's really no room to make this crazy move, trade all your first round picks and end up in the same damn place that you ended up in last time. But this time you got less talent and the talent's older. Also, like Cole, and I am usually the last to suggest this.
Oh God, here we go.
Hey man, it might just be time.
Time to hit the rebuild?
Yeah, like I will hold Myles for an extra year because you know you can get a top 5 pick by dangling Myles over the head of some team. But it might be time to be like, hey, Joel's old.
I'm telling you, man.
Wyatt's inconsistent.
I'm
Jack's
telling you,
over
bro.
30. There ain't no quarterbacks in this year's class, but I can name like 10 dudes that are probably going to go in the first round over the next 2 years. It just might be time. And I'm not saying lose intentionally, okay? But it might be time to focus on getting a little bit younger if you're the Cleveland Browns.
Man, dude, like, what is the? And I know people were like, "Why are we trying to rebuild? Why are we doing this?" Man, listen, there's no real path forward at this point.
If you can keep Myles, and Myles wants to stay here and sign an extension, and he takes a bunch of guaranteed money so he can't be traded, okay, cool. We're not going to rebuild. But if you have to trade Myles Garrett, it's over. You got to rebuild. Like there's no tear this thing down. There's no fixing that, right?
Yeah, you got to tear this thing down.
You know what I'm saying? Denzel's on the board. Like the whole era is gone, right? Yeah. It's over with, right? Like everybody has to go, and maybe Kevin can survive it because he's a 2-time coach of the year, but it's gonna be a complete new era in Cleveland if you have to trade Myles. That's just what happens when you trade a player of this caliber. There is no world where I sit here and firmly believe you if you trade away your best player in your franchise and then tell me you try to win now.
No.
It sounds ridiculous, don't it?
It sounds stupid.
Yeah. I can't believe that actually happened though in a different league. But yeah, that's the tough part with this. I feel so bad. Go ahead.
Can I be honest about something?
What?
I think I'm pro tear this thing down and rebuild it. I think I'm there at this point.
If it feels like keeping Myles Garrett long-term is a dead end, and it's looking like it's getting closer and closer to a dead end, then the 2026 draft becomes a super priority.
Yeah.
And we all know what that means.
This is my thing. This is my reasoning.
And I do have to ask the question. If the goal is ultimately to get a quarterback, we know that trading for a quarterback has its qualms.
Yes.
So not a real solution we can go with. We've already hit that button. The only other way to get a quarterback is to draft one. Now, contrary to popular belief, just because you have a decent coach does not mean that you could just draft anybody and they're going to be good or what you need a quarterback, right? You need to have a good player to develop him into that good player. Case in point, look, man, I know you like him, but ain't nothing Cliff Kingsbury doing got anything to do with why Jaden Daniels is good, right? Okay.
First of all, I'm going to stop you right there. I do not love Cliff Kingsbury. I do not love Cliff.
You hit the group text like, look at y'all hating on my boy.
That's all I said. I didn't say my boy. I said y'all just hating. I don't understand why y'all hating, man. Y'all hating. He got to the NFC Championship game. Get him man a little credit. That's all I'm saying.
I give Jaden Daniels all the credit in the world.
See, there you go.
I give Jaden Daniels all the credit. I am not a Jaden Daniels hater, but that man that we have seen scam with 14 different quarterbacks, yeah, man, I'm good. I'm not giving him no credit. Y'all gave him credit for that.
He won. That's hate.
Texas Tech.
That's hate, bro. That's hate.
No.
He's the offensive coordinator of a team that just made the NFC Championship game with a rookie quarterback.
I know.
Stop hating.
I know what'll make you never accuse me of hating Cliff Kingsbury, which is if the Browns hired him to be a coach of the Cleveland Browns. You will see the light. Okay. You'll be like, damn, it really got nothing to do with him. Yeah, it don't. Why?
I'm just saying.
Did Jaden get better?
You give that man a little bit of credit, just a little
Absolutely not giving that man any credit. He has gotten a whole career off getting credit for shit he don't deserve no credit for, right? And this is another example of it, man. Like,
okay, no, be fair. He's never done anything like this at the NFL level. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
No, he had the Cardinals as Super Bowl contenders for like half a season out there in Arizona. Y'all remember that? Everybody was hot when they had J.J. Watt and all that.
I don't remember.
They destroyed Baker Mayfield's labrum.
I don't remember people saying that. I really don't.
Oh yeah, it was happening. I remember. Look, I remember. I'm his biggest hater. I remember when people
Thank you for admitting it. Thank you for admitting it. I appreciate that. Thank you for admitting
all them Grammys. Okay.
He did win all them Grammys. He
Yeah,
did win
you
all
want
them
all those
Grammys.
Grammys. Ain't nothing wrong with hating, as long as you
Clean
right.
sweep.
Okay. Like, and I
Clean
know in
sweep.
3 years, I'm a clean sweep whatever version of our Grammys is about Cliff Kingsbury, because I know that man ain't good. Okay. I know he not good. I've watched his movies. He not fooling me. Okay. I'm good. I don't care if he had a good year. No. I'm too stubborn for that. Like, absolutely not about to give you credit when I've seen you do that. That man had Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes in college football. And you know how many times he won 8 games, Colb?
None?
One time.
Oh, okay.
One time. Him and Dion got the same peak season. Nah. With Pat. He had Pat. He got Jordan drafted 12th. Okay. No, Jordan drafted 10th. Nah, man. Nah. We'll never figure. The reason we have the Chiefs is because of Cliff Kingsbury. You out here. No, man, we can't forgive him for that.
No, we can't forgive Buffalo for that. It's Buffalo's fault. Actually.
It's not Buffalo's fault. This
Yes,
wouldn't be happening if Andy Reid didn't luck into the best quarterback of a generation. Like,
hey, guess what team? Guess what team allowed them to trade up and get Pat?
Oh, Buffalo.
Yes, it's their fault.
Yeah,
everything's their fault. But we need to get back. We need to get back to what we were talking about.
Buffalo and it's Cliff Kingsbury's fault, because that man would have went to a regular coach. He would have been the second pick overall in a draft, and we would have been like, okay, cool. Oh, he might have went number 1, right? Like, who knows where he would have went? But nah, Cliff had to go out there and win 6 games. But anyways, let's not get sidetracked here.
Let's not get sidetracked. I do think at this point, and this is kind of why I floated the Jacksonville thing, because it's just like, hey man, you gotta rebuild this thing at this point. And this might be the launching pad to getting you back to where you need to be long term. I don't know if Andrew Berry and Kevin are going to be here to see it, to be completely honest.
Yeah, that's
like, we might get back to where we need to be. It might be with 2 different people, but I don't know.
Because you can make the argument. The only reason we had the level of success that we did is because we had like 5 first-round picks in 2017 and 2018 come out. Right? Everybody keeps pointing back to like, oh, John Dorsey did all this. I'm like, he drafted Denzel Ward with the extra pick that he got from Sachi Brown, and then like everybody else was some Sachi Brown picks, and then he traded Jabril Peppers for Odell Beckham Jr. and he lost that trade. Okay. But yeah. I think Myles is going to be the launching pad for your rebuild, right? Like, I agree with you on that. It feels like that's the case. If you have to decide to go rebuild, that's the first man you got to get up out the paint. I don't know if they decided that they're rebuilding yet, right? Within Cleveland,
they kind of are.
I think they're getting forced into it. Like, if there were a good option to go with at quarterback, then I think they would do that and choose not to rebuild, because they've spent so much trying to keep this roster together. And gotten nothing out of it, but not what they've wanted to get out of it, right? I think the play here is to just wait out 2025. It's going to be awkward. Maybe you can win some games to make it less awkward down the way. And then if an opportunity presents itself within the next couple of years to move Myles for a top 5 pick and some change in one of the next 2 drafts, you take it, and you take that to get you a quarterback. Everybody's asked me, well, if the Browns don't take a quarterback here, how are they going to take one next year? Well, either you suck and you have to pick to take it, or you use Myles, who wants to go, to do it. Now, the cruel thing would be we ain't really fulfilling his request, but he can argue that with his next team at that point.
I'm going to be real with you. I don't care about that. Because once you request a trade, at that point, as an organization, we got to do whatever is best for the organization.
Yeah, and like, Myles too good to be like, let's just send him off right. Like he's too good of a player. Like
Yeah, no, we're not doing you no favors, bro.
I would hope that we are not ran by the Dallas Mavericks organization, right?
You're not gonna let this go. You are not gonna let this go.
I can't believe they just like, yeah, man, could go to LA for free.
I can. Okay, first of all, it wasn't for free. Anthony Davis is a top 10 player. Let's not do that.
Healthy.
He's been healthy the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. When
healthy. He's played like 95% of the games last 2 years.
He's going to the place where nobody stays healthy.
He's not going to New Orleans.
No. Okay, if it wasn't for New Orleans, Dallas would be right behind him. Luka ain't been healthy there. That whole team ain't been healthy. Kyrie ain't been healthy. I mean, we can go back.
I feel like Kyrie's played most of the games.
Every time the Cavs played him, I never see Kyrie on the floor.
Yeah, you know, Kyrie got like this thing about playing against teams where, you know.
Hey man,
he used to play. He got this thing.
We're not gonna talk about that. We got all tomorrow to talk about that.
We get sidetracked.
Yeah. I don't think the Browns, like, they're gonna send him wherever they're gonna get the best deal at this point. Like, the relationship does not seem like it's gonna be great. And I'm gonna, like, the reality of like my plan is like, hey, they're gonna hate each other by the time. There's a good chance, at least, that they hate each other by the time this trade actually gets done.
I would like to avoid that. I would like to avoid that.
I would love to, but this is where we at, bro.
Like, I would like to avoid that if possible, but at this point, it's one of those things where it's like, hey man, if we get a crazy offer for you, that's where you going. It's what it is.
It's not avoidable. Like, once you send out the public trade request,
okay,
this is not avoidable. Like, again, I would love, like I said this in the video, I was like, I would love to live in a world where this isn't going to lead to ugliness, where this isn't going to make the best player to wear this uniform since 1999 a polarizing figure. But that's simply not going to happen.
Yeah, you can't avoid it.
It's unavoidable. He does not want to be here. His explicit reason for not wanting to be here isn't money. I think people would get over it if it was money. And look, I think people are mad at the Browns right now, but over time, this dude saying, I don't want to be here because I don't think y'all can win, has consequences that I don't even think Myles and his camp thought out thoroughly enough. Because even if you want to leave for that reason, you got to make it seem like it's about something else. Like, you got to make it seem like it's about something else. And, you know, he's going to have to come back in here and look, people are going to be nice to him or whatever because he's Myles. But all of a sudden, he's going to realize, you know, like people, how do I put this? Because I only have one word to use as a euphemism for this, but it's a cuss word. People going to stop, you know, doing the extra stuff with you. Right? Like, it's going to feel real. It's going to feel a little bit lonely. It's like, hey, man, people don't really rock with me for real. Like, because you kind of just said, I don't really rock with y'all.
It's going to be difficult to bounce back from you basically saying, y'all trash.
You can't be leader no more.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. Basically saying,
team leader no more.
Y'all trash. You know what I'm saying? I can't win with this. How you expect me to win with this?
This ain't basketball where Kobe could get 81 and just make everybody forget. Like, nah, dog. Like, this is a little different than that. Like, Kobe's the only guy who's ever gotten away with that.
Yeah, because it's Kobe.
And also because Kobe said that to everybody, even when Shaq was on the team. like, yeah, Kobe gets to get away with that because Kobe walked in day one being Kobe. And I don't even mean that as far as like his skill. I just say Kobe been like that since day one. That's not Myles' personality, Myles' brand, his association. So when you do that and you Myles Garrett,
oh, you mean that? It
feels different, bro. I thought you thought we was the best in the world. What happened to that?
It feel different when it comes from you. You ain't never said this before. Why you saying this now, bro? What's going on?
Like
What's
there's the
going on?
award. Like, what, you can't win with me?
Like that hurts.
Or
That
worse,
hurts, man.
Denzel goes, "You right," and then says peace too.
Hey, honestly, if Denzel wants to go too, you gotta listen. You gotta do it. If you trade Myles,
if Denzel
you
wants
gotta
to go,
trade
you
Denzel.
can trade Denzel, but like Myles is a little bit different, right? Like,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But like,
you
if you trade Myles, you rebuilding this thing. Like, if I'm Denzel, you gotta trade me too.
Yeah. I mean, if you trade Myles, you trade Denzel.
Yeah,
and you try to get that extra pick in the first round because you might be able to get Travis Hunter, and then I'm fine. Okay, like, oh man, like yeah, there's one guy you could draft in this draft where I'm like, oh, I lost Denzel Ward. Sucks. Got younger and better. Like, is what it is. Travis Hunter's that level of prospect. I love Abdul Carter. Ain't no goddamn Myles. Okay, like absolutely no. It's not the same thing. If it was, we wouldn't be getting them at 2. But yeah, that's the part that I find that's going to be really difficult for them to come back from, which is I don't know how else to interpret that if I was on that team.
You can't interpret it any other way.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Mm-hmm. Like, he didn't even specifically say this is about the issues at the quarterback position. He said, I want to win a championship, so I have to leave. It's like, dog, will we not try to win a championship?
Listen, bro.
What you mean?
like I said.
Now, when Myles out there, like, he can't be no leader talking about some, oh man, when we got to dig down and we got to be the best that we can be to win everything that we can win. We got to win it all. You wanted to leave because you didn't believe in us. What you talking about?
Yeah, bro. Like,
if
the team offers me enough, I'm just getting it over with now.
At this point. I'm waiting till next year. I'm willing. I told you how I was about the whole Shador Dion situation. I'm like, I'm willing to be a gremlin. Like, I'll be a gremlin about this. I'm waiting until next year to trade you, big dog, because I need to know what pick I'm getting.
This is my thing though. It doesn't bother me to get it over with now, because I know if I trade you now, we go suck. You'll suck next year. And we picking a quarterback. So I don't bother.
Man, Kevin gonna be coaching for his job. You might pull some bullshit out.
Nah, man. This team not gonna be good enough for him to try to do nothing like that. So I was like, you know what?
They won like 8 games that one year. They had the terrible defense. In 2020, they didn't even have a good defense. They won.
2020 was bad. 2020 was that defense is not good. That defense is not good.
And then what they did, the Jacoby Brissett, Deshaun Watson split season, they won 8.
Was it 7? I thought they won 7.
Was that 7? What year they won 8? The Baker Mayfield Labrum year.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like,
the year the defense was actually pretty good, especially second half of the season.
2021.
Yeah, second half of the season, that defense was playing well.
Yeah, because 2023 was the year they stunk.
Yeah. No, 2022. 2020 was the year
2020. Yeah,
2022 was the year they stunk.
That was the Joe Woods get fired year. Yeah, I just simply would not count out there. Like, because, like, again, man, anybody that they have play quarterback is going to be better than what they had last year.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think they're going to be 3 win bad again. And I mean, if you do trade Myles, you are going to clear house. Maybe you stink because of that. Maybe that's the exact intention. It's just a really ballsy move at that point for a fan base that literally just went through this, 8 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them doing that. I don't see them having the security to do that. That's what I'll say. Because, like, in order to do that, you got to be sure you ain't about to get fired anytime soon. And this guy, you might get fired next year written all over it. So
Man,
they gonna hold it together to try to get what they can next year.
I don't know. I think the steward of the franchise now and for the future may not be very worried about his job security going forward.
Nah. He understands you can't trade Myles Garrett and think shit's gonna be breezy. Okay.
You're saying the steward of the franchise now and into the future should probably be worried about the franchise now and into the future.
Yes. He should be concerned. He should be very concerned. Kevin should be concerned. Like, nobody is safe right now. And I think if they have a bad year next year, they know they fired. They got through this year because it was the first year on that new deal, but after that, bro, like, it is what it is, right? You can easily get fired in year 2 of your contract. Yeah, I think they're gonna do everything they can to win as much as possible this upcoming season. And I think there will be some success with it. They're going back to what Kevin does on offense. We know that there's a base level of success you can have with that. Defensively, if they lose Myles, they'll still like draft somebody like Abdul. You could get some interior defensive linemen. It's possible that defensive line is not terrible. They still have Mike Hall coming back. Isaiah McGuire was pretty decent. Like, again, it's not having Myles. And I'm not talking about a team that's going to win like 12 games or something like that. But you could easily win enough to not have a top 5 pick next year.
I kind of wonder how this impacts the thought process for the draft, because I always felt like they were taking Abdul at 2 or 3 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like now you kind of have to take it. I thought they were going to do it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But now I kind of feel like, ooh, that feels like a decision that it has been made for you at this point.
I think actually it makes it more likely, in my opinion, that they take Travis Hunter.
If they're going to trade Myles?
Huh?
If they have to trade Myles?
Yeah. Here's my thinking. If you trade Myles, the whole theory behind getting Abdul Carter, at least for me, was you're supercharging a strength. You trade for Abdul, you get Abdul Carter, you're just trying to replace that strength. I would just flip it and be like, okay, well, if I'm not going to get the most out of Myles because he's not here anymore, then you have to support the best player on your defense, which is Denzel Ward, and then you go get Travis Hunter.
No, see, I disagree.
I think that's a way they could think about it. I'm not sure that they won't like Travis more than Abdul because they seem to lean towards corners more than they lean towards edges. Because God knows I fought that battle with this franchise over the last 4 years.
Yeah, listen, I think that's a mistake, straight up.
Yeah,
like I think that's a mistake.
What, Hunter over Carter?
Yeah, I think it's a mistake.
I don't think they're that different as prospects. I think Carter's a pretty good prospect. I think the same is true of Travis. As long as you like play him at corner.
See, that's the thing, because the assumption is that they view him more as a receiver, and if that is the thought process, it's a mistake. It's a mistake.
Nah, I don't need to see him running no end arounds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if that is your thought process behind the decision, just take Abdul.
Yeah.
Like, just take Abdul.
If there's a debate on what position he plays, then you got to take Abdul. Yeah. But if you are in agreement that he's a corner, I think that opens up that conversation, because I do think Travis is head and shoulders above the best corner.
I've said this too. Like, I think he's a significantly better corner prospect than he is a wide receiver prospect.
Yeah, he's a natural corner. I mean, that's why I assumed he went under Prime's wing, right, to be a corner in the NFL. And I know he want to play both, but there's a real easy fix to that, Cole. Have him go out there and cover somebody who runs 4.3, and then go out there and cover and try to run routes against somebody who also runs 4.3. He'll understand why that's going to be an exhausting task, right? In the Big 12, when you run 4.3 and that corner run 4.5, it ain't nothing to get open on him when you tired. But yeah, in NFL, we're like Denzel Ward gonna be covering you one way, and on the other side, it's Pat Surtain. Like, nah, dog. It ain't gonna happen the way you want it to. Or on the other side, it's like imagine playing the Denver Broncos, and you're Travis Hunter. You got to go try to get open against Pat Surtain. That's exhausting.
Yes.
And then you go back on the other side of the field, and then you got to go chase Cortland Sutton around. You ain't gonna make it. Okay, they run too fast. They know too much. Like it's just he'll figure it out real quick. He can't do both. If he needs to learn that lesson the hard way, you make him learn that lesson the hard way. But he'll figure it out that he need to be corner. Maybe you could let him like get in on some emergency packages on some fun shit. But yeah, he gonna have to play corner. But yeah, overall, not the funnest day in Cleveland Brown world. I don't know, it'd be messier, man, because like if he dropped a statement in like a couple of months, talk about I rescind my trade request. Hey, buddy, you said what you said already, though. Like, I don't think enough people have weighed the consequences of that. That he has said what he said. That's gonna feel like a personal attack on some people in that locker room. And look, they'll get over it to the point where they could be cordial in camp or something, but they're not gonna forget that dude said he don't believe in y'all.
No, you never forget it.
Yeah, like I remember everybody who said they ain't believe in me, and I ain't an NFL player. Okay,
like imagine if I went on another stream, it was like, it's like, yeah, man, you know, we will never get this kind of numbers with
I don't feel like I could get a plaque with Q. All right, yeah. All right, like that's crazy. Okay, cool. Yeah. It's gonna be It's gonna be a tenuous situation.
I know you ain't gonna never let that go.
Yeah. And maybe I'm projecting on how I feel. Maybe the rest of the team is not this petty, but I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. But yeah, man, like these are athletes who are born off of like every single athlete's success story is like, oh yeah, I was slighted one time. They're not going to take well to this, man. Like that's another angle to think about it from. Real quick before we head out to give this show to Jacob and Sam, we got two comments here to pull up. Trill Hill, is that what they say? Trill Hill.
Yeah. Trill Hill 7714.
Who are the mythical prospects that are going to be in next year's draft class? What do you mean mythical? Lenore Sellers is not some unknown like entity. He played last year at South Carolina. He's not Cade Klubnik. You saw him in the playoffs. Drew Aller. Y'all was trying to draft Drew Aller this year. Garrett Nussmeier. Y'all be trying to draft him. I see y'all hype up Jackson Dart. Shameless. Y'all shameless. Okay. Like, what do you?
Yeah, the 2026 class it's so much better than this class. It's so much better than this class. We didn't even talk about Arch.
Arch. Right? Who, if he doesn't come out of this year's class, will come out in 2027's class. Nico Imalava, who is a number 1 overall recruit coming out, might have that breakout year at Tennessee. That's 6.
Yeah, it's a much better quarterback class, and in 2027
guys that I would take before Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe, Will Howard, right there. Add Cam Ward, right there. Maybe Shador could fit into there, but like there's 6 guys I would feel the same about.
Yeah, I would 100% be okay passing on this class to get Lenore Sellers next year.
No. He don't got like the no trade clause or anything like that, or I don't think he's gonna sit out a year like Deshaun did. And also, there was a reason why the Texans were like, you know what? We'll just take the picks. Okay. And that reason was there was a case that dropped that made them go, you know what? We'll take the picks.
Yeah.
You notice that the sense of urgency to trade Deshaun Watson before that happened and after that happened, much different. But I digress. Colb, it's been fun having you on. We're going to have regular Q and Code tomorrow. It's gonna be a jam-packed show. I'm gonna just block out the 3 hours already, man. Like it's
Oh yeah, definitely a good 3.5. A good 3.5.
This is a sneak preview. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate Ian behind the scenes. This has been an episode of Quincy Carrier Live. Hope y'all all enjoy. Now make sure you stay tuned for Jacob Roach and Sam Penix.